Welcome to ATB-TV. I'm Darren Dance here with the legendary Peter Morganti. How are we this week, Pete?
I'm good, Darren. Yeah.
What's been happening?
What have we had go this week? Bit of racing, bit of trialling, bit of the same as the week before.
Bit of holiday?
Feed up Saturday when it was about 40. I went outside once. And there's not much racing to watch though, because they'd all got transferred. And
Yeah, and rightly so.
yeah, no, it was very hot. But then Sunday was much more pleasant. The rest of the week's been nice weather-wise. About 31 degrees here at Manning Tree Park.
Nick Whittaker tells me he's lost 1.4 kilos. How are you going?
Yeah.
You got anything?
I might be in the point section. I don't know about the 1 point section yet.
Well,
But I tell you,
we'll check next week.
yeah, righto. I don't even know what my starting point was. I didn't even jump on the scales.
Too scared?
Yeah, scared that the scales might
Just
break.
spin like a casino
Actually,
wheel.
we should weigh into one of the jockey things, but they don't go around far enough.
No, they don't. Wait, look at that one. Don't they? Up to that 65.
Yeah, no, that's not.
We'd have to do 2 laps.
Be like clocking the old machines, the old Space Invader machines.
Yes. Now, Peter, during the week there's been big news about charges laid, and you've been quite outspoken.
What, guilty and hanged?
Well, you're not going to say anything?
Oh, well, obviously there's been a little bit of indifferent work over 6 or 7 years from a certain
Allegations.
group. Allegations, yeah.
Not good.
Innocent. No, it's not, is it, really?
When we're asked about this, Peter, my response is always, I'd rather get beat than cheat.
Yeah, yep, no, exactly. They,
The worst thing that ever happened, I think, is you won a race and they took it off you.
yeah, well, the fact that it's been going on for 6 or 7 years, some query why didn't they allegedly jump up and down when they first noticed it, but I think it's been traced back. That,
Well, we're all in favour of clean racing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's like the Olympic Games or anything.
Anyway, the truth will come out in the end.
Yeah, I think they might be in a bit of trouble.
Anything else you want to bring to light? Controversial?
Well, there's a lot of horses
in the controversial segment?
Well, there's a lot of nice horses amongst that group. They're going to have to filter out to areas. And I seen one yesterday at Sandown that
Did ya?
went like a jet.
What was it called?
What was it? Front lawn? Nature Strip. Front lawn. Nature Strip. So, yeah, with that certain group. But anyway, they have a lot of hard thinking to do and a lot of answering to do. So,
Yes, well, racing's always in the headlines for the wrong reasons. And this Saturday, we've got the Big Magic Millions 2-year-old race up at the Gold Coast.
Yep.
Who's your top selection?
I see there's a bit of swinging about. That Jonkers, obviously, the one from down here.
Drew well.
Drew well and was brought into favourite, but I see McAvoy's is back into favourite now. Sunlight. So, and the one of Tony Gollan's obviously going to be right in it too.
F-Troop.
F-Troop, yep.
Well, I felt that F-Troop's a big horse and he's drawn wide, so I think he's going to want to be a good horse to win it. Sunlight is a very good horse and has got good form at the Gold Coast track, which I think is a big advantage, but once again, it's drawn off the track. And of course, Jonker is drawn perfect in 2, which they tell me 6 horses have won from gate 2. That's the most winningest barrier in that race.
Gives you a lot of options there on that track, doesn't it?
You're probably a standard by my knowledge.
Unbelievable, you've done a bit of homework.
Done a bit of research.
I'm actually just glad I've sort of checked out the race the last 2 or 3 days. I could spiel a couple of names off. But
well, some of the feedback we've had on ATB-TV is people want me to ask you these types of questions
just
without notice, just to see if you're a true racing man or whether you're sort of one of those couch potatoes.
Maybe because
you've done well today, you've passed.
Maybe because I was a couch potato last Saturday that I got the knowledge that I needed. No.
We'll try again next Saturday. We'll see.
All right, I better be on my toes.
Yes, and we've got Monday morning big 2-year-old trials down at Cranbourne.
Where we got the Royal Glow Schnitzel.
Yes.
Oh, actually,
got a name.
Good name too.
Igniter.
It's a good name. Igniter.
I could just see the headline when it wins. I'm on fire.
Let's hope so.
So I'll go down to Cranbourne Monday morning. I'll be very excited to have a look at that Schnitzel Colt trial.
Breezed up in that trial nicely the other day.
Yeah, his little practice trial was in second.
So that then steps in, sort of
trials falls up good.
After.
Blue Diamond preview.
Yeah, so we're getting close to the. Well, we're getting close to the big 2-year-old race in Victoria. It's coming around quick.
Yes, so I think next week's trivia question for you will be a little bit of history on the Blue Diamond.
Well, we'll get into the book tonight. We'll study it up.
We'll go back 100 years, Pete.
Yeah, it'd be good if we just.
I want to know who the first winner of the Blue Diamond was.
Did they actually race it 100 years ago? I
Sure.
reckon they did.
You'll find out. Who was the first winner of the Blue Diamond? That's your question. That's your homework.
Righto.
All right. Well, let's go through last week's 3 runners.
Yep.
And
3. Yeah, sorry.
3 runners. And who we got first?
Well, Sunday, after that oppressively hot day on Saturday, I ventured down to Warrnambool. It was a beautiful 23 or 4. We had Condover Hall. That went pear-shaped right from the moment the gates opened.
Now, the story there was he played up in the gates and they jumped and he kind of missed the start.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it.
Michelle was within a split second of calling for a barrier attendant just to hold his head, and it just never happened. And he missed it. From there, he's behind the 8 ball. She tried to keep him comfortable sitting 3 wide. That would have been poking into a bit of a breeze down the back. She made the move to go forward, but he's at the stage where he can't do that amount of work and be a winning chance.
Can't be 8 wide, Pete.
No, too hard.
It was hard to watch. It was hard to watch.
Hard to watch, hard to listen to later, and hard to digest the whole
Earlier in the
thing.
day, we had technical problems down there. They couldn't broadcast the race. There was no vision. And halfway through that race, I was hoping there was no vision.
We should have been in the first.
It was very hard to watch.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, you just got to put a line through that. And he'll back up Saturday, and we'll talk about that soon. And the other runner, Pete?
Perugia. Nice little run. We were going to cram it. He drew wide. Weary thought, I think Weary knew he was going to win this race all along, but it ended up being a better race for Perugia. Only 7 in it or 8 in it. Drew 5, sat him behind and ran on nice.
Finished second.
Yeah, real strong through the line.
And Cranbourne Friday night, he drew 11 or 12, and there was 7 scratchings.
Yeah, it's amazing. As soon as you do it, you stay in, you won't get a scratching. Anyway, we've had all right with the scratchings lately because we had Ransom Money get a win with being emergency. So,
emergency wins, yeah. Anyway, that's the way it goes. But it was good to see that horse back in form. So what do you think, Pete? You think he wasn't ready first up, the track was too hard, it was a poor ride, or Darren Weir just didn't have him ready?
What's
your gut feel?
No, I just think he knows all along the 1400, 3rd and 4th up's the best go with this horse. He has been a bit coltish. He was even on Saturday, but we did say to Harry to make sure whatever happens, get into him and ride him through the line, which to Harry's credit he did. Actually, I think he even had the, what do they call them, on their boots, just to help him along a little bit, the hooks. So they were prepared.
They aren't really hooks, by
no,
the way.
but that's just a name.
Yeah.
But they were prepared to make sure that he got something out of this run. Like you've said a lot of times, it's no good sitting up on him 150 out when they're a horse that needs, well, hard riding and
50% of the horses I see go around are taught how not to find the line.
Yeah.
Because people jump when they can't win, they sit up on them and teach them. You don't have to. It's okay to cruise to the line. You don't have to try hard.
Yeah.
Where's the sense in that?
No, there's no sense.
In AFL, if you're 6 goals up, do you see them all sit down the middle of the field and say that's enough?
Some of the teams that I follow do.
Well said. Good comeback. Anyway, Perugia much improved. Gives us confidence, the trainer confidence, the owner's confidence. I wonder myself whether he's a horse that just needs a little bit of cut in the ground.
Yeah, no doubt. And that actually, to the track, Warrnambool curators, what do you call it? To his credit, sorry, I was trying to think of the word. It had nice cut, and I think you could see he was quite happy to get through the line.
I suspect he doesn't like it rock hard, Pete, and I think wherever we go next, we want to keep him off the bitumen road tracks.
The 2 options, Pakenham and Cranbourne, are a chance to give him
they're ideal.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens in the next week or so there.
All right, and then off to Sandown yesterday, Wednesday, and Ransom Money started a ridiculous price at about $3.20.
Yep.
And I didn't really think he could run top 4, and he ended up running 6th. Pete, what was the...
I think before the race, it looked like he was going to map out nice for him. Wasn't a lot of speed. He was either going to be sitting behind the leader or outside the leader. He ended up being outside the leader.
He looked all right to the 200.
Yeah, and
But I don't know what you think, but I just suspect this horse is a tight track horse who needs a short sprint, and that's his go.
Yeah, because he got...
And he needs a claim.
And he got lost, and it's funny you talk about where you rate him in the thing. I remember one saying, never back a horse that goes up in class and up in weight. And when you think about it, if you go up in class, you should come down in weight.
Did you back it?
No.
Saved your money.
I saved me money.
He's learning. A year ago he would have backed it.
I didn't like the $3.60.
I've taught him a lot. No, it was an $8 chance.
Yeah.
Where will he go next?
I see he's non for next week.
That won't happen.
That won't happen. He Damien Lane suggested he may have felt the track. I think we had an issue at Horsham with a good 2 where he felt it.
So we've got to keep him on.
There's a bit of a balance with him
back to the Valley.
Yeah, there's not a lot of races. There's the Valley or Cranbourne, I reckon, are 2 tracks. And they swap around a bit on Friday, so...
Well, that's your job.
We'll
Find a right race.
We'll look for something there.
Because I know the owners around some money have been quite impressed how you've programmed his program.
We programmed it.
I think they might have sent you through a few gifts.
No, monetary gifts.
They may not have known you've moved.
Yeah. Oh, geez,
that bloke down at Glen Thompson,
I'm actually
he's
back
going, I love all this. He's getting slabs of beer and boxes of chocolates. He's on the field, though.
I better visit the old postmaster tomorrow.
All right, and then later today, My Shiny Choice goes around at Geelong.
Drawn 1. I spoke to Peter Ellis yesterday.
Yeah, what did the old Peter say?
Pete gives him a good each way chance.
At $30?
He just thinks, because he does improve quickly, first up to second up.
Right.
Gate 1.
Yep.
Soft run.
Who rides?
Brad Rewilla, who's got the best record on the horse by any.
I'm pleased to see him back on.
Yeah, so, I don't know, we'll see how Pete's judgment is, but he said he should run a nicely. He'll run a better race anyway.
You going to fall into it?
No. Oh, if it's the 30, oh,
look out.
I'm taking Jonah with me. I just have to work out whether we buy him Macca's or I go and have $5 each way on it. What do you reckon?
He doesn't care.
Nah.
I reckon he wants Macca's.
No. But anyway, let's hope he runs the race because he does, well, after the first couple of runs, he then actually hits winning form pretty quickly.
I wonder how hard that track will be.
Yeah, that's a good query. We had 2 30-degree days.
Anyway, you'll
see what happens. Yep.
Well, he's got to be, well, as Peter Ellis said, he'll improve sharply today, and I think whatever he does today, he'll be ready next start.
Yep, I agree.
So they are the 4 runners for this week. And then we go to Hamilton tomorrow, Pete.
Yep.
And we're starting off with Bloodlet.
We've been trying to program her into a city win.
Now, this is part of Pete's private architecture, where we've got a long-term goal here to try and win a city race with this half-sister to Platelet. And her rating at the moment, I think, Peter, is it 60?
57.
57?
Yep.
So if we go and put her in a city race of 64, she's probably going to get balloted out.
Yep.
So you've come up with this ingenious idea to sneak down to Hamilton into a 58.
Yeah.
Make it a good thing. Get a rating up to 60-something.
61.
And then just go to Sandown and smash them.
That's written on the blackboard. That equals win, but that's the theory side of it. The practical side of it, let's hope it works. No, she probably wouldn't get a run at Sandown at the end of the month. So if you're going to go to a 64 when you're a 57 rated horse, you might as well go to a 58. And the 2200 is perfect because that will go 21, 22 into the 24. We get Dean Yendall in the bush against, well, he's just got 2 or 3 links on some of the riders out there. The field looks weak. She's drawn 8.
We get that beat Pete. What do we do?
What's that? Well, I suppose the other side of that is if we get beat there, we might have bought the whole plan of everything. But look, she's there. She's got every chance.
I think it's a great plan. I mean, she's a winner. She's a city placed horse. We're trying to get a city win for the owners. It makes it very valuable.
Yep.
And this is the way to do it. So I like these plans.
And as a mare, she gets a 2 kilo allowance. So she's 57.5, and look, she's a better mare than 58. So if we get the luck, hopefully Dean can do the rest, and we can head to Sandown in a fortnight after that.
So tomorrow, it's a sneaky little plan of Mr. Morgandy's. If the owners are wondering why you have to drive 7.5 hours to Hamilton, but it's a part of the plan for Pete. Pete's plan, we might have to call these.
Yeah, as long as they come off, otherwise I'll hide.
Are you going all right so far?
Fox Largo. We got one earlier in the day, Darren. Actually, race 1 is Fox Largo.
What time is that, Pete?
That is at 1:30.
Oh, yeah. How far is Hamilton? 3 hours from you.
3 for you. Are you going?
Oh, I have to go.
Unfortunately, I've got to go elsewhere.
10:30.
My home stomping ground. I can't even go.
No, I might go for a drive.
Like Bloodlet's 4:30.
Really?
Yeah, you're doing bookends.
Okay. I'm committed.
Yeah. Fox Largo, obviously.
First up.
Half sister to Largo.
And?
First up over 14. And High Largo, sorry. And I was waiting for what the end was for. Darren Weir obviously just wants to kick her off over as far as he can without knocking around. So 1400 should be quickly out to 16.
Who rides it?
Dean Yendall again.
Can it beat anyone?
Oh, I think it'll beat half the field, eh?
Do you?
Yeah.
How many in it?
3. No, I don't know.
6, I think.
Doesn't. No, is it?
Very small field. No.
She'll be running on. That big track there, see her? She's just got to get down the hill.
Fit enough?
Trialled okay, but hard to get a gauge on the trials because she's been to, not Avoco, Stall, and but tight little tracks which don't suit her.
You reckon he's like the champion trainer, trains the most winners, but you reckon he just doesn't know how to get him fit first up?
No, I don't. He doesn't want to get them fit first up.
Oh, that's part of the plan.
Yeah, only the occasional ones get fit first up.
Follow the betting?
Yeah, well, they didn't the other day and it threw me. They think they won the Christmas handicap. That annoyed me.
Well, it annoyed the stewards, didn't it?
They won at $26.
4 out to 10. Oh, different one.
Different
you
one.
Got in quite,
the store one. Yeah, 3's out to 10s and flew home and won. Yeah. Did that get under the guard or what happened there? Or Johnny Allen couldn't hold it?
Did you lay it, did you?
No, I don't. I back to win. Back to win, I do.
All right, well, that's Fox Largo
debut. Back to that
debut.
other topic earlier,
It's a Fox Wedge filly, isn't it?
Yeah.
We brought her up at the Gold Coast, I think.
She's actually shown...
Lovely filly, isn't it?
Yeah, and she showed a lot last prep, and I'm just keen to see her on the big tracks.
All right.
I'm thinking she'll be winning this prep, probably third or fourth up.
Look out.
Condover Hall, as we mentioned earlier,
he's backing up.
He was meant to have a freshen up in the water walker this week, but Michelle had trouble getting him in the bloody water walker, or so I'm hearing.
Didn't go for a swim.
Well, I would have been swimming every day this week, been the weather for it, but I don't know what the alternative was, but I don't think she was doing a lot with him.
Okay.
He was fit enough, and
right.
I spoke to her not an hour ago, and she said she's happy with him to go to the races. So.
All right, we'll see what happens on Saturday at Where I Be.
I think Michelle's riding.
Yeah, she's riding. What barrow we get?
10, I think it was.
Can't control a gate, that was.
And
right.
at Werribee, you're going to have to go forward anyway.
It's a lap and a half anyway.
But Michelle rides at Flemington Race 1, then she's coming to ride him, then she's going back to Flemington to ride one at Paddy's.
Be backing in.
Well, I'll be backing. You've got to be backing all three because there's got to be a winner there if she's going to travel those miles to
she
ride
does ride
through.
Flemington well, I can tell you.
Mr. Moneybags, you'll be there at Flemington.
Yep.
He's drawn gate 1 back to 1400. This looks a lot more suitable than the 17.
Yep.
And I think the blinker's off.
I don't know.
That was the plan, wasn't it?
I thought he might have left them on.
He may have left him on.
Yeah, well, he wasn't ready for the 1700 the other day, and they went far too hard, and Bo Mertens is out for a couple of weeks injured.
Jai McNeil back.
Jai gets back on, so he rode him early days, so he's ridden the horse in 2 races, so... Yeah, it'll be interesting to see at 1400. If he runs good, he'll probably have another run over a mile. But if he runs poorly, I think he'll go to the paddock and freshen up because this is only his first prep and he'll be run 5, I think, Pete.
Yeah, which...
So that's quite getting deep into the preparation for a first prepper.
Yep.
And Pete, on Saturday we head off to Ipswich. Magic Man's Race Day. They hold a meeting at Ipswich and we've got Red Handle running out there over 1200 in forecast 39 degrees, sending Kathleen Brown out there. I hope the aircon's working in the car.
Might have been one way for me to lose that 1.5 kilos if I went up there and lose it in about an hour. Yeah,
We've got Vanessa Johnson.
Never heard of it.
Me either. But Golan said he was happy with the last run.
Yeah.
The times were good.
Yep.
And she's going well and yeah, she's due to win.
This is the key to her, this freshen too.
Yes.
She wins off the sort of 3 or 4
She goes to the
break.
paddock a week after she runs and then comes back in.
So anyway,
Strange, isn't it?
It's funny how
Works.
Well, it's worked before, so let's hope at Ipswich there's only 7 in the race, so it's a small field. She shouldn't be too far off them.
Yep.
Produced to win.
We've got
That's
Tuesday Ballarat.
Yep.
First starter, serious suspect, Pete. Ethan Brown, maybe, over 1200. Super Vobers. First starter. What can you tell us? You've been to the trials. You might even have a little share in this horse, Pete.
I'm managing a group of 15 or 20 or whatever. They've all got their .25s and .5.
Yep.
Highly excited. Now, he's actually trialled well at Stall. It's hard to put a line through the trials. We spoke about this before. But I like one thing. He's improved every trial from running 4th and 5th to 2nd to winning his last trial. And he seems to be a horse that has a go. And young Ethan Brown rode our 3 horses at Stall the other day. In the trials. And suggested this bloke has a fair dinkum dip. And when he was challenged, he was responding. So I think it's a good sign, the horse. Just going to hope he can run quick.
Well, that gives me a lot of confidence.
No, I think I'll be confident that this horse can run a place first up.
All right. So you go to the trials every week, sometimes twice a week.
Yeah.
You're one of the better renowned judges in Australia.
Don't put that on me.
And you're telling us that he's a place transfer.
I just reckon the fact that Weary went from was a race Sunday, which wasn't Supervivors, and then to the Supervivors, which naturally can be a little bit harder, but obviously good money races. The fact he's gone there, he's got some confidence. He did say he thought the horse went all right. And I'm confident he can run a place.
All right, we'll see what happens on Tuesday.
And we're trying to get young Ethan on,
yep.
And if he's not there, we'll get Dean Yendall. So either way, we're going to have a good jock on.
Right, so
I think Babe and Stringer Bell were both of those having their first, and they had their first look, and they looked fantastic and trialled up okay.
Good. Well, that's pretty much our runners for the week coming up. Now, Pete, you're going to go for a walk around the farm again with Tom. And what are we looking at today?
We're going around a few of the mares that haven't got foals at foot at the moment, Darren.
Yep. And earlier today, you went along to Bruce Marsh's with young Caitlin, and you had a look at the first 4 that are going up there to be broken in, 4 yearling colts.
Yeah, and I've got some vision that we'll finish off on. Yep. And Caitlin, God, she's tall.
Yes.
I had to stand on the rock. But look, she gave me a great insight. There's actually a little bit about what they do without getting into the real technical terms and how long they've been there, and then we covered each horse. But it was an interesting half an hour, but we can finish off with...
Well, let's close off with some vision from Caitlin, who's breaking in these 4 horses, and we had a couple of fillies sent off today that'll join them to be broken in, so it all starts again.
There's a menagerie there, Darren. There's goats, cats, dogs, birds.
You got some vision?
Got vision of the lot. We
hope you enjoy this vision on the way out. Until next week, I'm Darren Dance here with the great Peter Morganti.
From ATB, I'm out here at Bruce Marsh's property. I'm here with Caitlin. It's a big fee, is it?
Yeah,
Caitlin,
yeah.
Caitlin, obviously ATB have had a long association with you guys, and you break in all our yearlings.
Yeah.
How long has that been an association for?
I would say it's been at least the last 15 years we've been with Darren. He's been a great client of ours and always had nice horses, and yeah,
excellent. Now, we'll go through the process. Obviously, I think Darren was here with Bruce years ago. We'd like to have an updated version of what happened. So we've sent 4 colts to you, I think it's about 8 or 9 days ago, and they're actually here in the background. We'll get some vision of them later and have a chat about them. First couple of days when they get here?
First couple of days we let them settle in, let them have a look around. There's a lot here, goat, ponies, sheep. So we just really let them settle in, and once they're eating and they're happy, then we start our process of starting to break them in.
So those processes, what would you be... I see there's a lot just tied up.
Yeah.
I'm looking around, there's 10 or 15 horses here all tied up in various spots.
Yeah, so we like to... I like to have patience with my horses, so tying them up with a saddle on or tied up with a rug on or anything like that, it teaches them patience, and they fight with themselves about it and not me.
Right.
So it's a big deal for me. I don't want my horse to ever see me come in and think, oh, damn it.
Yeah.
I want them, if they're impatient, I'll leave them tied up and they can fight with themselves about it. And then, like, being able to read my horses, if they're not quite right, I need to be able to tell. And
so big mental process.
Big mental process for them. A breaking prep is stressful on your horse, so we like to take our time. Everything's nice and quiet, and our horses are happy to come see us, and that's what we achieve.
Right. Before we get into sort of those individual things you might do, a prep roughly is around 4 or 5 weeks. Sometimes that can be maybe halted, and then they go away and you come back again. Yeah,
so we generally like to keep them 4 to 5 weeks. As I said, it's stressful, so we try and move them through it, and then if they're not quite where we would like them to go to a track, we'll tell Darren, hey, put this horse in the paddock for a month and we'll have him back for a week or 2 or however long it takes for them to then go to the track and it be a nice transition for them.
I'm very rusty with how all this works. How long before you get a saddle on them?
Look, we tackle ours, so they get tackled under and it's a 3-day process. And then they get long rein, so Bruce does all the long reining and steers them so that once I'm on their back, they know.
Is that
what
something
happened.
that's done in that round yard there? Can you just spin around, mate, just with that camera with the horse tied up there?
So in the round yard, they'll do 1 or 2 days with the tackle on, and then they'll come back to the yard and just have a tackle on, and then they'll get long reined in there, and then they'll get long reined outside, and then I'll have their first day 1 gets ridden in there, day 2 outside.
Right.
The best thing with her, when they follow their nose, not following their front. When you've got a head down, got a good head in it, bring that around so you can follow that nose. They don't follow their nose when they start leaping away from the side. Second drive too. Got a head where I wanted it, where I put a positioner. It'll come back on itself. Back. Very light in the mouth, but then put me a line, put them on a little bit later. Very free going there. Get up. Very free. Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, so
You break it up and...
yeah, we don't like to, they get a bit sour in there, so we like to just keep changing it and keep them happy.
We spoke obviously off camera there before. We've got the American, the Crackerjack King, Anachiever and the Turak Toff. Now you mentioned that the American was a little bit wanting to do it his way for a while.
Yeah, he's a little bit cheeky and we just adapt to that. He'll spend a little bit more time tied up, or he might go 1 more day with the tackle on, or 1 more day in the round yard. Then say the Turak Toff, that was just quite happy to do what I asked of him, and he was out of the round yard, tackled up in a yard. And happy to be there.
I think you gave us an example of a horse that went into Weary's there going back a few years. You told him this is the way to ride him, and I think they did the opposite of what you said, and they ended up on their head. So there's obviously every horse is a little different. Yeah,
every horse is different, and that's a major key I find with breaking. You need to be able to tell the individual horse, if you treat them all the same, you're not going to get the same result across the board.
Yep, there's the little fella behind you.
This is Mum's good horse, and he gets tied up just like the rest of them.
So you got a lot of nanny type.
Yep, so we have a great pony. He's actually over there owning the property right now. He saves my life on a daily basis. We first ride, they get ridden with the pony, in the round yard. We actually dally them up and pull them around a little bit with the horse. Then they're used to somebody being above them and being in control. And then when I get on, if anything happens, they go to the pony. They find him safe. So if they get scared, they run to him. If they get a buck, they buck into him. So it makes me safer because I can bail out over the back if I get in a really bad situation. But generally, once they get to him, they quit.
There you go.
And so he's irreplaceable.
I was going to say.
Worth $1 million.
I was going to say it's better than having your medico here. You've got your guard. Yeah.
He is irreplaceable, and me and Mum, all girls team, we do everything here, and Bruce comes in and out. He's really busy with his massaging, and so he saves our life.
Just with Bruce, with the massaging, with the young ones, they're going through the breaking, you would use Bruce a bit?
Yeah, we do. Whenever, like I said, it's a highly stressful situation for them, and we try and keep them happy. And it just comes back to reading your horse. If he's not quite right, or he's unhappy, or he's not eating.
Some little niggle.
It could be some little niggle, because they've never had a girth on, they've never had a saddle on, so they're using muscles they've never used before because of how we ask them to carry themselves. So Bruce does come into play, dentists come into play, farriers come into play. He just thinks he owns the place. So yeah, we really watch on all of that.
When do you know you're happy that they can just leave the property, you know they're going to go to the trainers and they're ready to go into the next phase of their career?
Well, they do day 1 in the round yard. Day 2, we just ride up and down the driveways around the place. Day 3, they go down the road, and then once they're down the road, I stay with the pony probably the first week, and then the next 2 weeks, I'll ride them by myself down the road, up, check the cattle. They don't get treated like a racehorse here. They get treated how I would. If I wouldn't do it on my horse, I won't ask them to do it. And they just, once they're riding by themselves, and I can ask them to do anything. Like one time the sheep were in the arena, and I went and rode a breaker out, pushed the sheep out, and I gave them time to think about it, and they were like, okay, let's go and do this. And once they do whatever I ask them to do, it's just a feel. You know, like, And
I suppose you just repeat those processes a few times, and they're comfortable, you're comfortable.
And you know, like always changing it up for them, so it's not like it's easy to go and follow a rail around. It's scary when something comes up behind them, so if I can have the pony come up behind them and just generally understand everything.
So you're testing their mental ability all the time.
Their mental ability, and because it's not like a highly stressful situation, the worst thing they've got to do is share a yard with a goat. You know, like it's pretty easy for them to transition.
Terrific. All right, well that's great. You gave us a bit of an insight there, and what we'll do now, we might just grab a couple of little voiceovers of each individual, but we'll tune out now. So thanks for your time with that, Caitlin, and appreciate all your work. And I mean, I've probably been 6 years on and off with ATB, and you've probably broken in a few of the ones that I've raced. So and obviously they've all got to the track and been good. And I suppose that would. Do you follow our racehorses?
Yeah, absolutely. We try and, Darren keeps us in the loop sometimes, especially with Darren's rehab horses now. That's something that I'm extremely passionate about. Breaking to me is something I'm good at, and something that I truly am passionate about, but I'm extremely passionate about the rehab that we've been doing for Darren, and I really follow them with
we've had some good results.
we've had some, and we've got one here at the minute, and we're really happy with him. He'll go and get his scan. And
I think Galileo's Pearl.
Galileo's
He won
Pearl.
3 in a row, so I mean there's a prime example.
And Mystic Man, Misty C.
I think you have one at Our Approach.
Our Approach,
I mean she's unfortunately retired now, but no, I mean I don't think we've had too many that haven't come back and had some sort of success. So,
so
that'll give you a big thrill.
That does, and that's something that, like, as I'm slowly taking over Mum and Bruce's business, I would like to just keep, like, Darren's breakers and more turn it into a rehab pre-training type deal, and just have our loyal, not outside breakers anymore. So,
Perfect. Excellent. All right. Once again, thanks for your time, and we'll check out our colts and how they've been going. You've got a couple of our fillies to pick up later today.
Some new fillies today, and then they'll settle in and be good.
Excellent. Thanks, Carla.
No worries.